All right, so back at it again. Mr. Dave Rabior from the Monzo Group.
That's right.
Anthony Smith from the Monzo Group, the dealer, and it's very short, the man.
The undisputed Detroit 100+ deal agent of the #1 team in the state of Michigan.
Undisputed. All right, so we got a couple things we're going to go over, give you guys some short videos. So one of the #1 things we're going to start off with is the market as it relates to the, well, go ahead, Dave, explain what was on your mind. You know what I mean?
Well, first of all, we want to talk about the current market in the Detroit area, particularly as it relates to the activities that are going on in the city of Detroit, and what people believe is true about Detroit from what they've read that's kind of backdated a little bit versus what's actually going on in Detroit right now. So if you don't mind, you want to touch on that a little bit, considering we probably move, 700 units a year in Detroit?
Quite a bit. I believe we're going to throw a big word out like we did last time, uncopious.
Yeah, uncopious. Yeah.
So it's probably said wrong, but Urban Dictionary wise, it's in there. All right, so the market as in relation to, so myth versus reality is kind of what we're dealing with here, right?
Right.
So I would say probably a year or two ago, we were dealing with a lot of myth, right? Things were going to get built. These areas got grants, these areas didn't, and people were buying up properties based on those things. And now we're, here we are 2 years later, a little bit back into reality. So we know exactly some of the things that are physically taking place going on. Packard plant, getting remodeled. The Jefferson Mack plants getting a facelift and getting an add-on.
Yep.
There has been some movement in the Fitzgerald neighborhood.
Right.
Those type of things. So, take it away. So if an investor comes to you and wants, they all want the high dollar area.
Right.
Let me know, obviously those are few and far between, especially if you're a newer investor. So where do you point people and for what reason?
So it comes down to foundation of people in general, right? So you can't build a city on renters, but a lot of people are trying to do that right now in the city of Detroit. A lot of investors coming in and buying these properties, but in order for you to buy a property that can maintain long-term sustainability, it's got to be sprinkled in with homeowners, right? Mm-hmm. So you start looking into what do homeowners want in order for them to purchase a home on a mortgage, which is the primary way that the majority of people buy homes, whether it be in Detroit or not. So when you talk about that, you got to look at areas that are being developed and what are the city services looking like? What is the police response time? Will the fire department come if you call them? Are there schools, not just any school, but schools where you can rely on them to give your child a certain level of education that's not your standard hypothetical Detroit public school education, right?
Yeah.
That's gotten such a beat down over the years. So in the areas that I recommend that people buy, you're starting to see different people, different races, different people, families. You're seeing, singles, you're seeing millennials, you're seeing hipsters, you're seeing all these people that want to be a part of the movement. But what that all comes down to is, are there amenities in those areas that allow you to live there with some level of comfort?
Yeah.
So are there grocery stores anywhere nearby, or do you have to drive 30 minutes away to go get your grocery shopping done? Can you go to a local store and it's not like, lined up with dope dealers and, people bumping the bass and making people be intimidated? Like a lot of those things are the deciding factor. So what areas do I choose? We're looking at, the 48224 with Cornerstone near the St. John Hospital. You're looking at 48224 with the Morningside, which is now building, and it's a ripple effect coming from East Ingles Village and Cornerstone. You're looking at 48221 between Wyoming and Livernois from 8 Mile to McNichols.
Livernois is good.
Yeah,
they're doing the is that Fashion Mile?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
Some kind of designer mile, fashion mile. So real quick,
Avenue of Fashion.
Yeah,
that's what it's called.
The runway of Detroit, right? So real quick, because we're doing some short videos here. So in market relations, so what you're saying is a couple things. When the areas are gone, the Grand Rosedales, the North Rosedale Parks, the Indian Villages, and you're looking for a good buy and hold neighborhood, A couple of things to sum up what you were saying, where you need to look for what the schooling's like, what the transportation's like.
Yep.
Maybe look for some of your municipalities, your police departments, how far away are they, things like that, because you get better renters in areas like that.
Right, yeah. Are they redoing the sidewalks? Are they fixing the streets? Do the streets get plowed at some point in the wintertime? Is it a walking neighborhood where you can literally walk down a street and not pass, 5 blighted homes, as you pass one that's occupied? And those are the areas that you're gonna max out on the rents that you get, and you're gonna get people that wanna stay there long term because they don't feel intimidated, frightened, or they think that their safety is a concern.
Yeah, and so I believe if you could say it in a couple words, what you're trying to say is call us if you're looking to invest in Detroit.
Yeah.
We know we're on the ground, we move a ton of property, we know all the areas. We're not gonna put you outside the street outside of a neighborhood.
No.
We're not gonna put you on you got a block full of 2,000 square foot houses. We're not gonna put you in the 600 square foot house and tell you it's a great deal.
Yep.
So yeah, in conclusion, call us, we'll walk you through it. That is what we do. We educate investors on how to invest in Detroit, and not just the home run deals, which, like he said, based on the way the market has evolved, a lot of those are gone, right? You're finding those just as often as you find some of those ones in other cities. Reach out to Dave Dave from the Monzo Group.
Yes, sir.
Anthony from the Monzo Group. Let us know. We'll walk you through it. We'll educate you, and you'll be in good hands.
And to summarize, you don't go and ask for the third best realtor or the third best person or the second best person. You go when you want to spend your money and you want to build your future. You go to the best, and we are #1 in the state of Michigan, Monzo Group.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. All right, guys.